Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm very well indeed, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm amazing. Thank you.
Good stuff. Jackie, so today we're going to do a follow-up feedback session on how you've been getting on the One-Day Accelerator Workshop, which is designed to help personal trainers create their own high-ticket fat loss program, market that program, and be in a position to be able to sell at the end of one day with about roughly 3 hours preparation before the actual one-day implementation. So today we're going to focus specifically on what you have in place right now,
Okay.
what the response was when you put out your marketing piece, and have you been able to get any clients? So those are the three specific areas that I'd like our listeners, whoever's listening to this right now, to be able to understand. But before we get into that, maybe just give us, and I know we did a longer interview previously, and I put a link to that so they can get more detail about yourself, but just give us an idea of what your current situation is in terms of work and where you are with personal training.
Okay. So I am a full-time director of nursing. I work in hospice. So a full-time job. That means I'm on call 24/7. And so I'm quite busy with that. And I also am a personal trainer, fairly new. I'm only 2 years as a personal trainer now, and a nutritionist. So this is just like 2 years only. So it's fairly new. I've done some things in the gym. I would say that to really be certified. I was training in the gym already, but I wasn't certified. So after we got COVID, I really wanted to go ahead and capitalize upon that skill and go ahead and get certified. So I went on and completed that, got certified for that. And I have been currently working with some clients somewhat. I have a program that I develop a business actually. And I have been working with some individuals and I've had some success in that. So it's kind of where I am as of today, when I met you. That's kind of what my situation was at that time.
Fantastic, that's great. Mm-hmm. And I say if anybody wants even more of a background, they can click on the link around this video to our first feedback after the one day. So specifically then, just to put this into context for people listening, you did initially the one-day implementation, followed up by 4 weeks support and additional coaching. And the goal of the program, of the workshop, was, as I say, to get you in a position where you'd have a program, you'd be able to market that and put yourself in a position to be able to sell it. So I wasn't promising you 6 figures. I wasn't promising you 10 figures or anything like that. It was basically put yourself in a position where you could do that. And again, just for people listening, just so they understand, you and I, we weren't connected via social media. You hadn't attended a webinar, you hadn't seen any sort of paid for advertising. It really was just a case of we kind of met by chance. And there's a saying, isn't it? If it's a no-brainer, an opportunity, and it fits well, they say that the universe rewards speed. So here we are now, 4 weeks down the track, and we're now going to find out what the results are of the work you've been doing. So why don't we start off with, what do you now have in place, which you didn't have in place when you started? So just as succinct as you can, what didn't you have and what do you now have?
Okay. I did not have a solid plan or a program in place. I was doing some things. I was training. I was talking about nutrition. But I didn't have a solid plan that was consistent throughout. Everything was very tailored to individuals. I had some systems, but it wasn't that clear that I feel really good about it. I was just kind of being kind of new at this. I was just kind of going day to day, working it out with the different clients based on their needs pretty much, but kind of felt that wasn't the ideal situation because I was getting a lot of burnout through that. Sure. I was a whole lot of hours in. I was very hands-on and just didn't have any clarity about how I should do it. So literally I was really praying for an answer on how to do this. So I just didn't have anything like that now compared to what I have today. I literally now have a program that is solid. I have a 12-week program that I'm very happy and comfortable that I can put anyone through.
Sure.
And it's consistent, and I can put any level of individuals, whether they need to lose 100 pounds, whether they need to lose 20 pounds, whatever. I feel that they all can start with this 12-week program and start on their road to success. So I'm feeling really good about that.
That's fantastic. And what's interesting to pick up on here is, and I say this to trainers, you don't need any additional information. So what you've put together with this program has come out of your head. What you required was the structure.
Yeah.
As opposed to additional information on mindset or nutrition or exercise. It was really about the structure of what you had, getting out on paper, organizing it, prioritizing it, and then packaging it, which is what you've done. So you now have, you feel as though you have that now.
I do. I do feel really good about that.
Okay, so let's now talk about then, so that was at the end of the day, and still on that day one, at the end of, well, in fact, before the end of the workshop, we put your first marketing piece out on social media. So tell me a little bit about what the response was to your first posting on social media. What happened there in terms of numbers and response?
Right. So we did that with a little challenge from me to get that out, but we got it out there because, you know, I'm a female. I want the right picture out there. I want the right this and that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we got it out there. We got it out there that day. And I was very surprised that I had a great, I felt that was a good, you know, a good amount of people that were responding to the post. So people, the information was to hit me in my inbox and I provide more information. People start doing that literally within the hours of me posting it. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is great. So people start doing it. I'm like, okay, what? I get a little nervous because like, oh my God, they're responding. What's next? You know? Yeah. So they start responding to me and I did. I literally had something to send them. Yeah. So I sent them a pre-qualification sheet and they was able to get started with some basic information. So I had about, at that time, maybe about 6 to 8 people hit me in my inbox. Yeah. And I thought that was good just to inquire. So that it was just that in those hours. Yeah. So of course it's still been there and people are coming in and still seeing it there. But I was just amazed within that first few hours that many people hit me up and I was able to get something out to them immediately. So that was a great, great story.
Yeah, no, that's a great start. And that was actually before we'd finished the workshop. Yes. So we still had a session to go after that. So that was all happening kind of like
it was in pre-training. I think that was in the pre-training right at the end.
Yeah. So let's talk about then, so you had about maybe 8 messages coming in. Let's talk about clients, because again, just to be clear, when people come on this workshop, what I'm not promising them is they're going to have clients coming in. It really is about getting your package together, getting the marketing together, putting something out there, and then being in a position to be able to sell to clients. So we do a whole piece on how to be consultative rather than salesy. So that's what we work on with the workshop, as you well know. So tell us a little bit about what has been the result of those 8 DMs coming in, and do you have any clients at the moment?
Okay, so well, let me just go back and say it wasn't just the DMs, because also word of mouth is always important. I have people that saw the post and they didn't hit me in the DM. They called me because they know me personally. Right. So there's a lot of people that I know. I mean, you know, on Facebook, Instagram, and all the different places on social media. And so some of them just called me and inquired, you know, I'm interested. You know, so I did the same process. That's what I was happy about, because before I would have treated the ones with the calls differently from the ones that I did the post, but everyone went through the same process. And I gained that information in the process of me learning how to really structure this. So as a result of that, those that hit me in my inbox and those that called me on the phone, I was able to send that information out. Now, because of that, I was only expecting maybe to get 1 sale. Because again, my mindset wasn't high ticketed. I'm thinking high ticketed. People are not going to be able to afford that. Women are not going to be able to pay that kind of, or they won't pay it. And so I was feeling really insecure about that piece of because I didn't have the program in place pretty much. That brought about my insecurities. So the fact that I had that in place, I was able to get that information out and get those women to look at it. And then I was able to, from that point, give 4 high ticketed sales. Fantastic. 4 in 1 month. And yeah, even with, and have 4 still to come. You know, I have some clients that are inquired. I have them set up to meet with me. So that those are some potentials. Those are not sales yet, but those are some potentials. So I have 4 potentials already in 1 week.
Right.
So I have 4 sales and 4 potentials, which is really good.
Fantastic. So based on those statistics then, 8 DMs, roughly, maybe a couple of calls, let's call it 50% conversion, got another 4 waiting. So let's just say you convert one of those. I know you're on more, I tend to be not pessimistic, but I tend to, keep the feet on the ground, but you could have 5, possibly 6 clients before the end of the full cycle of 4 weeks is possible, which is fantastic, which is really, really good. And just worth saying again to anybody listening to this, I am not sat here saying you are going to get 4, 5, 6 sales, lots of DMs. The program, the workshop is about taking your knowledge, creating a package, putting some marketing pieces together, understanding the sales process, which you've obviously gone through successfully now, having got 4 new clients. That's what the workshop's about. Okay, let's talk a little, and really well done for that as well, Amir, and credit to you as well for taking on board that information and actually implementing it. Because one of the things I find with PTs sometimes is there can be a resistance to information that maybe they're not used to using. But to your credit, you were open to the ideas, you went with it, you trusted in the process, and as a result of that, you've got 4 clients and 4 more calls pending, which is great.
That was good coaching as well. So because that is so key. You gotta have a good coach in order to do that. Because I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own. I didn't do it before. So the fact that you were a great coach, that helped. Well, that's more than put them in a great place, So that was good.
Well, that's kind of interesting. And it kind of leads into my next question. And that really, I guess, is, again, I've been on coaching programs myself, and some of them have been fantastic. The support has been absolutely amazing. I've been on others where the support has been maybe not as good. Let's just put it that way. How did you find, because obviously you've paid your money and now we're working together, very, very easy for somebody to go AWOL in terms of support. How did you find that support throughout this first 4 weeks?
First of all, I think I needed that support. I'm fairly an independent type of person, but I already had a hectic schedule. I needed a lot of grace, if I can say that. I needed someone to understand. I needed some patience with that. I needed a lot of guidance because I am fairly new in this arena. Yeah, sure. So, but I felt that the fact that you coached me very well, and I'm not just saying that, you coached me very well. You were very patient and but very clear, and that's important. I need someone to be very clear for me, for me to stay there. And you were clear, you were very organized. That's important for me because I hate disorganization. I hate it, even though I was a little disorganized a lot of time, but it kept me going well that you were organized. See, I'm running in and everything, but that was important for me that you were organized and you knew the material. You didn't fumble over things. I love that. I don't tend to hang with people that don't know what they're saying and don't have any kind of, you had that, Eric, and I really appreciate that. So you made this easier for me. In the midst of my schedule and how tired I was many days, you made it easier for me. You made me want to get up and do it. You made me stay up all night to do it because I knew it was going to be worth it. No, seriously, you didn't make me stay up. But, I mean, you caused me to stay up because I wanted to. Yeah. In other words, it was worth the time and the investment. If I want to invest, I want to put in the time. Yeah. I do know that if you really give something your best, it'll pay off. I knew I'll be able to sleep later. So it was worth the time. It was worth it. You were a great coach, and you are a great coach. So, and you were supportive all the while. I could inbox you. I could email you when I needed to, and you always responded. I know our times are different. And even in that, if I would send you something, you would get back to me immediately. So as soon as you saw it. So that was good.
Well, no, kind of you just saying it's just interesting to hear what your feedback is there, because I think support is something that is critical. It's something that I certainly value with the coaches I have worked with and done some great work with, and have helped me immensely. So just moving on from that then, in terms of your confidence levels now then, so confidence levels before you started on the program, in terms of high ticket and working with, overweight clients, and confidence now with working, offering high ticket and working with clients. How do you make that comparison now?
The fact that I previously, and I'll give myself a little credit because I didn't have anyone to work with me in starting my program. I had no idea exactly what to do exactly, but I think I did fairly well given my situation.
Sure.
But I knew that I needed some more. Yeah. So I was still I was very still insecure about what I had because there was no measuring tape on it. There was no measure of how to look at it. So I have no one to look at it to tell me if it's good, bad, indifferent, you need improvement. But so when I met you and got into your program, that really solidified my belief system. That really gave me more confidence. I was moving in confidence from what I knew, but it gave me more, I was able to relax a little bit more, and it gave me more confidence because now I know I have a solid plan in which to operate. Sure. And that, if someone chooses not to work with me now, it's not because of anything they're lacking in the program. It's because of maybe what they bring to the table. So I'm glad to know that I am very confident to offer this to anyone on any level. Yeah. So I'm really, my confidence has gone up tremendously because of this.
No, fantastic. Yeah. And I guess in closing then, because again, I, like you, certainly for me, I've worked with a lot of coaches and I listen to these types of conversations, and you sometimes think to yourself, oh yeah, they're just saying that, and did she really get clients, and is she a paid actress?
Right.
Is she Eric's relation in America or something like that? But joking aside, there will be trainers listening to this now thinking, okay, I'm either new to personal training and I've heard about this high ticket and I'd like to find out more, but maybe I've been burnt before, or maybe I'm a bit skeptical, or there may be some trainers listening to this who are seasoned personal trainers who are quite successful already at personal training, and maybe they also have been burnt, maybe, or they're not too sure about who to work with when it comes to developing a high ticket fat loss program specifically, and I listen to this with a bit of skepticism. What would you say to them if they were maybe thinking about doing this? What would your advice be to them?
Yeah, well, first of all, I need to say that, and people can just say this, what I'm about to say, but I'm not that person that would just support any agenda that I didn't believe in. I would never do it. They can never pay me enough money. I pride myself with having integrity, and I would never do it. I'm a caregiver by nature, so I truly, genuinely care about people. If I didn't think it was the program that I said it, I wouldn't do it. So what I would say to someone else, yeah, I could say, get in and try it. I could say, come on in and, see for yourself. Exactly, I could say that, but I would say to people, I know for a fact that this works. It is really bulletproof. I really can see that now. It works because I've tried it. I tried it. I mean, I did the work. I was coached. I did the work. I followed the rules, and I put it out there. Even when I was a little afraid, I put it out there. The fish started biting, if I could say it that way. Yeah. And then it turned into sales. There's no other way to slice that. There's no other way to see it. Put the work in, follow the rules in this plan right here. I don't know what other plans out there are like. I don't know. I'm glad I don't know, because I get to say firsthand, this one works. So when I refer someone, this will be the program I would refer them to. So I would say to any new trainer, you'll be kind of like me. Come on in here and do the work, and it will prove itself out to be successful for you. Any trainer that's experienced and kind of maybe think they got it already wrapped up in a bag, I would say come and sit down and get some more information and take a look. You won't know if your program could be even better if you don't try it. And so I think this is an amazing program. And I think every trainer, everyone I could talk to, I would really refer them to this program. And so if you're listening today, listen, this is the place you really want to, if you want to see your business or your program explode. Yeah, it takes work. You got to be the key factor, but if you do the work, the system is there and it will work. So I'm really happy to be able to report that genuinely, that I can say that, because it's working for me. That's all I know. If no one takes it, but it works for me. And because I know that it's working, it'll work for them as well.
Hey, Jackie, look, it's been absolutely fantastic having you back on for, the follow-up after the 1 day's training. And again, anybody listening to this now, if you want to listen to that initial chat that we had, which I think is quite funny, there's some funny little stories in there, which I think are worth listening to. There'll be a link around this video. They can click on that and listen to that. It's a little bit longer than this one, but I think it just gives you an idea of what it was like after day 1 of the program. And they can then maybe see the difference potentially between then and now. But for today, I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know we're going to be in contact again, and we'll maybe hopefully do another little follow-up in a little while's time. But until then, take very good care of yourself, and we'll catch up again soon, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Eric.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. Thank you.